Hello, Anomaly here, and welcome to another video on some Mistweaver commentary. Today we are going back into Heroic Knighthold. This time we're going to be talking about the cake boss, Trilliax. As always, we'll be discussing kind of my play in particular, and hopefully that helps you notice like the mistakes I've made, make yourselves better, things like that. Without further ado, let's kind of jump right into the video. So we're talking about Heroic Trilliax today, third boss in Knighthold. He's got some interesting mechanics. People call him the cake boss. Drops cakes everywhere. It's actually just like a fun use of the various mechanics and kind of how they interact with the boss. Basically, again, like I think we've talked about on Chromatic Anomaly and actually, it's really the only one we've talked about. But the movement here is super helpful, being a Mistweaver, or really just a monk in general, with roll, tiger's lust, all that type of stuff. So you'll notice here the first time I use it is to kind of get one of the furthest away cakes. Technically, I probably should have gotten the second set of cakes that go out because of the debuff you get that slows you, and that interaction with his spinny laser phase. But you know, first, second, it doesn't matter, but definitely you should try and pick up a cake. The other thing you notice is this video is like my healing is very, very low. This boss, even though it's on heroic, it gave us a little bit of a trouble just because a lot of people weren't doing mechanics. So I'll kind of call out where I've kind of foregone healing and am more concerned about mechanics in this video. Here you can see though we took a lot of damage as a raid group, a lot of consistent damage with those AoE pulses. So I did pop Manatee and Essence Font. I think that's a great place to do it. Anytime you kind of see some consistent damage going out, pop Essence Font, pop Manatee if you have it up, and you should be great to go. So I think I did really well there. I don't know if this was the attempt. One attempt I was kind of wasted a Thunder Focus Tea on an Essence Font in that phase. As long as there's no purple on the ground near your group, you should be pretty okay. So yeah, so again, it's heroic. You don't really need to eat those cakes. I rolled into them just to eat it. But the explosions from these scrubbers that are around the room now aren't really big enough to really do damage if you jump on it, so it won't kill you. I'm assuming in heroic, as we get up there, probably going to be a bigger issue. You'll also notice that I do kind of stun here. The scrubbers can be stunned, and that scrubber was heading right to a cake. So I ran over, stunned it just to maybe see if someone would eat the cake. They didn't, so the scrubber eventually exploded. You'll see I do pop revival there. So at this point in the video, I'm literally only caring about mechanics. So as you can see, I'm running basically around the room, not healing a ton, not really casting a bunch of healing spells, and trying to get to all these different scrubbers to make sure they don't blow up in the raid. Probably could have handled that a lot better for the simple fact that if my my raid team was a little bit more on the ball with mechanics, probably would have helped out. But for the most part, I just really wanted to get this boss down, so I started caring a little bit more about mechanics than anything else. I did drop LC right there on one of the tanks. He dipped super, super low. So this is actually a really good viewpoint of how, if you do get caught in an awkward position with the beam, try and take your path closer to the boss. It's just you need to move less the closer to the boss you are to get out of the way of the beams. So almost died right there. Luckily, I had to roll up. But that's kind of how I live there. Is just you want to kind of get as close to the boss as you can as you move. It gives you less of a time to react as it's shifting left to right. But if he's going one direction, you're kind of in a better spot to kind of miss the beam. So got really lucky there. Now it's just back into kind of the remainder of this phase. You can see the boss is at 35% right now, almost dead. You also notice that I have Shaylun stacked to 12. I finally just used it. Really bad on my part. You see I grab a cake almost right away there just so that scrubber keeps going, which is great. Again, stun the scrubber because it was heading towards the cake. A really good idea. Nobody actually somebody did end up eating that cake, which was good. As you can see, I jumped on it. I took, 75% of my HP? I mean, anybody can really jump on them to kind of soak, so. Definitely could have been casting a lot more Essence Font in this case. I've really focused on kind of trying to jump on these scrubbers as much as I could. So my healing definitely suffered. You'll notice basically our shaman and our druid, just if you look at the meters in the bottom right, are carrying the raid right now. They probably just focus more on healing and less on kind of jumping on things. Um, so I mean, it's not a again Trilliax. These earlier fights aren't that super healing intensive, so you can kind of get away with, like I said, I think when we did the talked about chronic anomaly, like three healers. I mean, here you can get away with, I mean, probably three again, maybe even two if your two healers are kind of on the ball and everybody else is kind of helping out with mechanics. So, um, but yeah, for the most part, just I focus more on mechanics. My healing kind of sucked. I don't really have much to say other than if I trusted my group more to do mechanics, probably would have done a little bit better on the meters, had a little bit more to talk about here. Um, but that honestly, that doesn't really excuse kind of my poor play. Um, I should have kind of probably focused both. But with the fact that cakes kind of spawn, you'll notice like there's four cakes all the way over here, well away from the raid. Getting out here as a monk is fairly simple. You can just kind of roll and Tiger's Lust and all that type of fun stuff. But the other side of it is you kind of put yourself really far away from the raid. So it's difficult to keep people top, difficult to heal folks because you're the only one out here. So if we would have stayed more with the group, potentially we could have probably just healed through it. But I focus more on trying to jump on things and kind of hold off. So as you can see, 885 cake. This was great now. This was the first week cake wasn't buffed. So as you can see, I clicked pass. Ended up rolling an 895 one the next week, so it's okay. But can't believe I passed on that one the first week. So anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, like me to do something better, like me to do something worse, just drop them in the comments below. Check out Monk Discord. I'm over there as Anomaly. I'll link that in the description. Yeah, and just thank you very much for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing your kills. Hopefully this helped, and we will definitely talk to you guys later. So thank you very much.